Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Got a great post for you for March 1st, the 60th day of the year. We, the people who are awake, need to do something about skull and bones at Yale. Those of us who are awake know they have a lot to do with what happened September 11th, 2001. Here's one more piece of evidence, probably never before uncovered. In the film Enemy of the State, which came out in 1998 and which premiered in New York City on November 18th, the 322nd day of the year, in this film it's revealed that the US government and the telecommunications companies are working together to create a massive database of information about the people in this nation. And recall, after September 11th, 2001, the Patriot Act passed. And after that, it was revealed that the telecommunications companies were collecting and storing all of our data and information, phone calls, text messages, computer records, and our government ended up giving them immunity from prosecution from violating our constitutional rights. So, in a 1998 film, this information was put out. After September 11, 2001, this information really came to light. It was revealed that AT&T had been keeping everybody's phone records going back to as far as 1984, the year of the Orwell novel. Don't forget, in 1968, AT&T made 911 the national emergency dialing code. 1968, the year they did that, was the same year World Trade Center construction began. It was the same year George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. It was the same year 2001 A Space Odyssey came out. But check this out. This is mind-blowing. So this film premiered in New York on the 322nd day of the year, the day leaving 43 days remaining. Remember, when 9/11 happened, George W. Bush, the 43rd president, was in office. In Gematria, Yale equals 43, so does Florida. His brother was the 43rd governor of Florida. He became the 43rd president. His father was the 43rd vice president to Reagan. New Haven, CT also sums to 43, where Yale and Skull and Bones is located. But Skull and Bones identifies by the number 322. Check this out. This screen capture is from the film Enemy of the State. One of the key characters is Thomas Bryan Reynolds. And look at what day his birthday is, September 11th, 1940. By the way, September 11th, 1941 is the date Pentagon construction began, the other big structure in the 9/11 ritual. But with regards to this character's name, this is what's mind-blowing. In Gematria, Thomas Bryan Reynolds sums to 281. That's the 60th prime number. We've talked about this relationship with Skull and Bones before. 281, the 60th prime, Skull equals 60. So does order. They're a Masonic order. George H.W. Bush, who just died in November. By the way, I said he would die at 94 and he wouldn't make it past November, which he didn't. He died on the same day Paul Walker died in history, who was a man who starred in his first Hollywood film about Skull and Bones. But anyway, when George H.W. Bush died, Paul Walker, George Herbert Walker, when George H.W. Bush died, he died in Houston, Texas, home of the 281 area code. And I pointed out that his father, Prescott Bush, who was also a member of Skull and Bones, died on October 8th, which is the 281st day of the year. And not only that, but William Huntington Russell, which is the name of the trust for Skull and Bones and who is the co-founder of Skull and Bones, he died in history in New Haven, where Yale and Skull and Bones is, on his 281st day of his age. Born August 12th, dead May 19th, the 281st day of his age. 281, the 60th prime. The relationship with Skull and Bones. Their symbol is a skull with the number 322. Thomas Bryan Reynolds, 281. It just goes to show this secret order, which creates 15 new members each year, has so much influence in this world. Remember, the 2004 election after September 11th was between two members of Skull and Bones, John Kerry and George W. Bush, which should have been even more proof that our elections are a fraud and controlled by a very small group of people. You get the Republican president, George Herbert Walker Bush. You get 8 years of Bill Clinton. Remember, the World Trade Center bombings happened while Clinton was in office, and a man who was born Bill Blythe until his father was killed and his mother married into the Clinton political dynasty, who were the original governors of New York. And don't forget, this year, February 26th, the anniversary of the World Trade Center bombing. This year, February 26th, 2019, was exactly 911 weeks after September 11, 2001, and AT&T, their merger, was the big story that day. 911, AT&T made 911 the national emergency dialing code. If you have not seen this film, Enemy of the State, watch it. Listen to the dialogue. Look at this. Look at everything I'm showing you right here. And tell me it's a coincidence. No, this is a real conspiracy. This is a real agenda. This is a real mocking. Yale Skull and Bones needs to be wiped from the face of the earth. Period. End of discussion. Along with the rest of these secret societies. Secret societies are a plague on humanity. You know? Unbelievable. Until next time, Truth Seeker.